Here are the objectives for this lesson. First, let's take a look at who the CHRO is, or Chief Human Resources Officer, what they do, and what they require to be successful. According to the Korn Ferry Institute, the top 4 challenges that keep CHROs up at night are aligning HR strategy to the company strategy and the board, employee engagement and retention, organizational change management and M&A, and managing a global workforce and regulatory compliance. Let's take a look at the profile of Carol, a corporate officer who oversees all human resource management and industrial relations operations for an organization. Carol's roles and responsibilities can be categorized as follows: workforce strategist, organizational and performance conductor, HR service delivery owner, and compliance and governance regulator. Carol may also be involved in board member selection and orientation, executive compensation, and succession planning. In addition, functions such as employee communications, facilities, PR, and related areas may fall within the scope of her role. Carol's role has evolved rapidly to meet the human capital needs of organizations operating across multiple regulatory and labor environments. Whereas she once managed labor operations in just 1 or 2 countries, today she oversees complex networks of employees on more than 1 continent and implements workforce development strategies on a global scale. Carol is especially important now in helping her company navigate the workforce issues associated with expanding into emerging markets, and in developing labor policies to suit different regions of the world while preserving a company's core culture. Her role is also expanded as workforces are increasingly composed of knowledge workers, and companies have required better systems to compete for scarce, high-skilled workers. Rather than focusing exclusively on personnel issues and service delivery, Carol must concentrate on creating strong talent pipelines both internally and externally to both enhance organizational decision-making and secure future growth. These changes in the business landscape have required her to heighten the focus on talent, capabilities, and company culture and brand. Carol's top concerns fall into 3 broad categories: talent, capabilities, and culture. Talent management includes building the quality and depth of talent, including a focus on succession and leadership employee development. Based upon a company's business strategy, goals, and objectives, Carol's HR department will help to ensure there is a pipeline of talent to meet its performance and growth objectives. This requires that turnover is managed effectively, that there is a broad and robust pool of potential external and internal candidates to fill position openings, and that programs are established to develop the internal bench of talent to fill successively broader and more responsible positions. Also, the HR function must help ensure the company retains high-performing and high-potential talent through the proper management of training and development opportunities, mentoring, coaching, and the allocation of rewards. Managing corporate capabilities includes dealing with rapid changes in technology, globalization, and the increasingly complex external context of government regulations and public policy. The key capabilities required will vary by company based on business strategy and the competitive global environment. Adapting to new technologies and sources of information and communications are essential to success for all companies. Other capabilities include managing the reputation of the company as a good place to work, managing a multi-generational workforce, adapting to change, and operating effectively in different cultures and business structures are all capabilities the HR function must help the company develop. Cultural issues include organizational change, agility, social networking, ethics and values, innovation, customer focus, employee engagement, diversity, and multiculturalism. Carol has a leadership role in helping shape the culture of the company, ensuring that the values of the company are communicated and understood at all levels, providing clarity as to the expected behavior of all employees, and the development of a high-performance culture are all important aspects of her role. When an employee's behavior is inconsistent with the values of the company, the HR function is responsible for ensuring that such situations are dealt with fairly. Carol's goal is to help transform her organization into a modern human resources organization. This is achieved by making it easy to engage her employees, making it easy for employees to be engaged at work at any time. Empowering managers, making it easy for managers and executives to consistently lead the multi-generational workforce. And aligning to the business, making it easy to adapt continuously to the changing needs of the business. And by maturing out each one at every phase of the journey, Carol's organization will gain sustainability, alignment, and retain employees. To achieve HR leadership, Carol must mature her HR organization from being a reactive back office to a proactive business organization that reaches HR excellence. She'll want to save money by reducing complexity, streamlining HR processes, and leveraging cloud to lower infrastructure and operational cost so the organization can easily and effectively support mission-critical operations and have a strategic HR organization. She'll reinvest those savings into better engagements with employees, which also results in better engagements with customers, leveraging modern technology to support the new generations, and having stronger loyalty programs to retain employees. And aligning HR to the business to increase the talent supply and build a talent pool to avoid open headcounts where the business suffers. Align individual goals to business goals, and hone talent management processes to increase employee performance and productivity. Now that we have a better idea of who the CHRO is and what their goals are, let's review some key points in the customer discovery process as you prepare to meet with the CHRO. According to Forrester, 65% of decision makers give the business to the company that creates the buying vision, a fresh insight on how they can improve their business. This requires your sales team to step back from the bake-off and begin the HR transformation conversation earlier in the buying process. As you initially speak with the customer, you'll be looking for many buying signals. They want to change broken or disparate systems or business processes. They have business goals or key business requirements, referred to as KBRs. They have tactical and consequential pains. You'll need to determine what these are for your follow-up meetings with the customer. You'll also want to get a sense of the project scope and exactly what areas of the business you'll be looking at. Throughout this initial exchange, pay attention to what you learn from the customer. It'll be the key to your success in the sale. There are 4 elements in a typical customer discovery. First, the goals or objectives. What does the customer want to achieve? This is where you listen to the customer as a peer. You don't want to explain their job to them. You're not in their shoes day to day. The company may have tasks, situations, or processes that are either broken or don't exist. These are tactical pains. This is an opportunity for you to present fixes to broken processes or enable processes that don't yet exist. Consequential pains are the consequences of tactical pains that prevent the customer from achieving their KBRs. These consequential business impacts that result may be strategic, financial, internal, cultural, or political. A tactical pain can lead to a consequential pain. Pains can show themselves as internal or external. As you investigate the customer, you may find that they're doing many things to become more agile. They may be running many strategies in parallel to achieve success. But how do these strategies align? That's the challenge, and that's what you need to help your customer figure out. Without synergy between initiatives, they fail or they never seem to mature. Over the next 3 slides, here's some key areas where you can focus to help your customer think about their strategy today and where they want to go. Read some of the key tenets on this slide. There's a lot of emphasis on talent, but your client also needs to think about their HR service strategy, their HR operations today, and where they're going. Read some of the key areas on this slide. Maybe your client already has a technology adoption strategy, but it just didn't make it to the HR department. So what solutions and capabilities are there, and which ones would they like to deploy? Read some key ideas here on this slide. Work with the customer to think about potential solutions to get them on the path to modern HR. They may want to start with talent, or start by transforming their core HR, or they may want to start by adopting new technologies. They may also want to pursue all three at the same time in a synchronized effort. Put together a complete picture of the stakeholders within the company and answer those critical questions to determine how decisions will be made. Just because there's a hierarchy on paper doesn't mean that the decision making follows that structure. For example, someone many levels below the CIO may be relied on for their opinion and expertise, or maybe executives are making the whole decision. You need to determine who has the influence. And think about who the competitors have spent time with, and where did everyone in the room come from. LinkedIn or internet research in general can help with these answers. Active listening is crucial and takes effort. We know it's hard, especially in the cloud where you're juggling many customers at once. When meeting with a customer, treat them as if they're the only one in the room or on the phone. Document everything they're saying and call out direct quotes and who said them. Paraphrase in your own words back to the client what they're saying to check your understanding. It's imperative that you're listening and not talking endlessly or finishing the customer's sentences. You're the learner, the student. Review and fill in the blanks after the meeting to continue to clarify open issues. Effective research starts internally to understand the whole playing field. Speak to those on your influence map and figure out who they have relationships with at Oracle. Have other lines of business within the organization had success with Oracle? Are they pursuing cloud solutions from other pillars? There's also external research you can do on business challenges, background, reference stories, and social chatter. Using the original technology adoption model diagram, there are a number of chasms that organizations may encounter, depending on their organizational type and culture to adopting cloud services. The goal is to help identify each chasm and the benefits and risks associated with crossing the chasm. You can then use these chasms to help identify which organization types describe your customer's organization and to help them mold their cloud services adoption route. This figure can help you identify your customer on the spectrum so you position solutions in a roadmap correctly. We're seeing that many of the cycles are happening now in the pragmatist stage. These customers appreciate the benefits, require best practices and patterns, and they want to utilize vendors whose cloud services have a reputation for quality, stability, and maturity. As you work with your customer through the discovery process, think about this diagram, which can help them understand the different phases in the progress to modern HR. They may start by consolidating their HRMS and processes, or they may choose to move talent or core HR to the cloud, or both. They may have a goal of complete HCM in the cloud, moving all HR processes to the cloud for mission-critical operation. When you meet with your customers, include industry benchmarks to show that their challenges are common. Include direct quotes, what you've heard through their team through the discovery process. Show that you hear what they're saying, and be prepared to share the stories of other successful Oracle customers who have moved to modern HR in the cloud. Stories help personalize the experience and drive the point home. Talk about the challenges that one of your customers have faced, choosing a customer similar to your client. Talk about the solutions they selected in plain terms and how they defined their roadmap. You can go to the Partner and Customer Success site at oracle.com for examples of HR transformation stories. When the initial conversation is finished, you're seeking a proper process to go through. Ask the customer what their next steps are in the process. The next step might be to present a demo to show potential solutions. If you're co-selling with Oracle, you and your Oracle sales rep may develop a plan to propose a solution for the customer. If your customer needs help selecting a solution and wants to rely on your expertise, you may plan the evaluation process in which you're a trusted advisor to the customer throughout the process. Whether you're co-selling with Oracle or working with the customer to select a solution, you need to define who's responsible for what and what the next steps are in the process. The important point here is that every individual sales cycle is going to be unique, but there's some typical points that are here on this slide in the process. You and Oracle need to be aware of each other's leverage points with the specific customer as you progress through the sales cycle, and how you as the partner can help influence the customer at strategic points, and when you may need to bring in Oracle to help with this. Now let's completely change gears and talk about building credibility and using social media for business development. According to the Forbes article, Are You Effectively Using Social Media for Business Development? Think of your time spent cultivating your online presence as an effort in developing your thought leadership and mind share. Gaining mind share means two things: that you're immediately thought of when customers are interested in HCM Cloud, and that the content you provide is so powerful and beneficial that your prospects and customers feel compelled to share it with others. Build credibility by creating powerful articles, infographics, videos, white papers, and other content, sharing your expertise. If you aren't the best at creating content, curate and share content created by other experts. New insights and explanations on existing content can help position you as a thought leader. Share insights with the various groups you belong to, and work daily on developing new followers so you have a broader audience with which to target your status updates. Some additional pointers. It's not only important to share your expertise, but to give credit to those who share as well. Provide positive and insightful comments to your teammates, prospects, and customers who write and share interesting content on HR. Ask insightful questions and be genuinely interested in what they're saying and sharing. People read comments. This can become an important touch point for you to engage with new people in your extended network. But this does not mean it's appropriate to write spamming content posts with links to your website, products or services, or any posts that are negative with negative opinions that are not constructive to the conversation. What it means is genuinely engaging in a positive and fruitful discussion with others who are interested in a topic. As you make connections with prospects and clients, remember to check and see if anyone at your company has a relationship with that person via LinkedIn. It's something that we sometimes forget to do, so that's why it's worth mentioning. And look at what other successful thought leaders are doing on social media. You'll notice that some of them don't spend a ton of money on graphics or high production videos that take months to create. They stand out with their ideas, the frequency at which they share content, and how they communicate with their audience. See how they communicate with their followers, the content they post, and you could learn something about why they're successful at attracting large audiences of followers. When posting content, keep it light on Oracle branded content and keep it light on personal content. A good rule of thumb is to share 4 pieces of non-Oracle branded thought leadership. Maybe it's content you write or share from other subject matter experts. Then you might infuse 1 piece of Oracle branded content, and then maybe 1 piece that shares your personality, interests, and values, such as your love of bike riding or maybe you love to garden. This just shows that you're a real person. And of course, be involved with your industry. You'll have nothing to write about if you're not involved. You need to spend time with peers in the industry, attend events, and document your journey along the way so that everybody can see that you're passionate and credible about HR. When posting content to your audience, there's ways that you can establish your credibility as a thought leader. Share your time in the industry, in partnership with Oracle, with your company, and HR in general. Share any personal connections with the topic. Maybe you have some anecdotal stories of working with payroll as an HR practitioner. Include an autobiography. A biography of yourself at the end of your articles builds credibility and lets your reader know that you're knowledgeable enough to teach them about the subject. And always include ways that they can connect with you on social media. It will all help to build the case that you're capable and knowledgeable about HCM Cloud solutions. Here's a summary of what you learned in this lesson. Answer the following questions to check your knowledge of what you learned in this lesson. Click the pause button, then write your answers on a sheet of paper. Then click play to display the correct answers. You can also complete the following additional activities to reinforce the concepts you've learned in this lesson. Links to these resources can be found in this guided learning path.